and welcome to this week's episode of Rock Rundown. This evening, we're delighted to welcome three of the most instrumental objects in musical history.
It's great to be here. We're huge fans of the show. We were saying the other day how brilliant the series has been thus far. I personally loved when you got to speak to the Beatles mock-tops. Really reminded me why those four are so iconic.
Thank you. You have no idea how many strings had to be pulled. Lovely chaps. Let's get started then. Would you mind introducing yourselves?
I go by the name Crybaby. You'll know me as Hendrix's signature wah pedal. Some call me the Voodoo Child.
I'm Marshall, the amp Jimmy used to play all of his live gigs. We always got amazing feedback.
My name's Fender, 1965 Stratocaster. I guess you could say we had a pretty fiery relationship.
You must have some brilliant stories from your time on the road. I'm sure all of us in the audience would love for you to share some. Isn't that right, folks?
Jimmy was the king of unpredictability. The man had pure flow. At Woodstock 1969, he decided to play what would best be described as a wah-spangled banner to a sea of spaced out hippies. The best part is, little did we know, underneath his sweaty bandana, he was slowly absorbing a heroic dose of LSD. Looking back, I'm surprised we didn't realise at the time. He was playing like a monster. We went from simulating the sounds of war to the cries of babies, straight back to heavy funk and beyond.
Whenever we were live, he'd always play frequencies that we'd never rehearsed before. I just had to go with it most of the time. To get his signature sound, Jimmy would perform using an entire row of us behind him. 100 full-watt super lead full stacks in perfect harmony. We blew minds.
On really wild nights, he'd pick up a pretty rude habit during our song, Fire. I could always tell it was coming. There was something different about the way he'd strum. By that point, it was already too late. Give it 5 minutes and I'm usually being doused in lighter fluid and having my head set alight.
I count myself very lucky to have had the chance to play alongside such a legend.
Honestly, I couldn't imagine what I would have done if Jimmy hadn't picked me up all those years ago.
Well, we couldn't imagine where the genre of rock would have gone had he not. Us fans salute you. Please give a huge round of applause to our guests for coming this evening. To cap off tonight's episode, here's Jimmy's famous Foxy Lady.